Oh, hi there. My name is Lance McKinnon, and you may be curious as to why I'm pulling on this rope. Tug of war is a great example of our topic today, which is conflict. In conflict, we are pulling against someone, and inevitably, there will be a resolution to the conflict. Lao Tzu says, in conflict, be fair and generous. I believe this is true and should be our mindset as we enter into the tug of war of conflict. In order to understand what conflict is, we need to define it. According to Dawkins and Pace in Communication in a Changing World, conflict is a condition of disharmony and disagreement that exists when people who depend on one another see their needs, beliefs, values, or goals as incompatible. Today, our group will explore the value of conflict, effects on relationships, managing conflict, and creating common ground. I'll be covering the first area of this, which is the value of conflict when it is handled properly. We place value on just about everything, from socks to cars. But what about conflict? Many people think conflict is only negative. However, conflict holds great value. The first of which is it helps us to establish boundaries and norms. A personal example of boundaries being set was when I went to Minnesota to be an intern. I lived with 3 other guys in a very small, cramped room. We had limited time in the morning to get up and get ready for the day. Some of us were extreme shower hogs. Therefore, as you can imagine, conflict arose. One morning after we all got ready, we decided to hash out this conflict. We came to the conclusion that each person would receive 5 minutes in the shower each morning. Our conflict was resolved, and the benefit was we had established a norm and a boundary for each and every one of us in the morning. Conflict's value is not only in establishing boundaries, but it also helps us to express our feelings. Suppressed feelings, according to Dawkins and Pace, build in intensity over time. They also say that conflict provides an outlet for these suppressed feelings. And the Mayo Clinic backs that by saying when you let go of grudges and bitterness, your anxiety goes down, your stress level goes down, and your blood pressure. So as you can see, expressing our feelings in conflict is paramount. But it is also important that we identify our individual needs through conflict. For example, my wife and I figured this out when it came to presents. I am an extreme gift giver. I love to give big gifts that wow. However, unknown to me at the time, my wife was the complete opposite. She enjoyed lots of small gifts. After a particularly big gift of giving my wife a Tiffany's necklace for Valentine's Day, my wife expressed this conflict that she was dealing with. Once she told me, I changed how I gave her gifts, and you know what? It's been great ever since then. Balance, history, and withstanding conflict. What do these things all have in common? Like the things before them, they benefit and add value to conflict. Let's see what I mean. For instance, some people are quiet whenever they're in the middle of a conflict. They're submissive and another person is aggressive. Well, that only benefits the person that's aggressive. Therefore, in the workplace, that's why we have organizations and unions, so that it equals out the power that's going on in the conflict. We need people to have equal say and equal power within conflicts. Also, withstanding conflicts is extremely important to relationships because the members of the disagreement realize that their relationship can last through a disagreement or an argument. It also helps to build relationship history. And then that relationship history, it sets guidelines and parameters for when you argue or disagree in the future. It also shows you what lines not to cross. Understanding the positive value conflict creates is the first step in knowing how to resolve the pull of conflict. Today in this portion of our presentation, we have explained how conflict helps to establish boundaries, express our feelings, identify our needs, balance power, and create a history of survival. We are now going live to Carol Kennedy, who is on location in Arizona, where she will discuss sources of conflict. Take it away, Carol.